Ag Tire Talks, Driving Yield Through Tire Technology, sponsored by Michelin Agriculture.
James Tushner with Ag Tire Talk here. I'm with Jeff Smiley, Regional Sales Manager for BKT. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right. So today we're talking with BKT, and we're talking about some of their newer offerings that really fit into the category of driving yield through tire technology, really the more advanced offerings that they have. So with that, we're going to start off with the BKT AgriMax V-Flecto. So Jeff, you want to give us just a little bit of background overview of the line?
Sure. So the V-Flecto is our radial tractor tire. It's designed for performance in the field, ride comfort out on the road. It's made with our VF technology, which allows us the 40% more carrying capacity, or we can reduce the air pressure down 40% at still carry the same capacity, get that better float out in the field for compaction.
You know, one of the things I noticed about this line is, one, it's all VF. I also noted the speed rating. It's a D speed rating to 40 miles per hour. You want to give us a little bit of color as to why that was chosen?
We're seeing more and more tractors out there and equipment out there that are running 35 to 40 mile an hour. And honestly, there's some that's running faster than that. These tires are designed to run at that 40 mile an hour speed. A lot of the tractors that are coming from overseas, the Fendt, the JCBs, they're coming with these high horsepower tires on them, and they are a speed rated tire. So you kind of need that speed, because I've yet to see a farmer that will drive a tractor slower than what they possibly can.
Good point. Good point. Well, you know, one of the things I noticed on this line also, you have a number of cyclic field operations, and you also have the NRO, the narrow rim options as well. Sure. So it seems to be quite a diverse line from that standpoint.
Yeah, we decided we needed to get into the NRO, the narrow rim option. That way the farmer, if he decided he wanted to put this tire on there because he needed the speed, or maybe he just needed the weight carrying capacity and the flotation, he didn't have to go out and buy new rims for that. He could still run it on that same rim. Now, most of them are designed for a little bit wider rim. This does allow us to put this tire on that same rim and still have the ability to run the lower air pressure for the flotation and compaction.
Excellent, excellent. You know, and I noticed, so we've got tractor tires, and we also have sprayer tires in this lineup. And for the tractor piece, noticing the traditional, a lot of North America stuff, say four-wheel drive 71070 or 42s. You've got some of the more popular, like 480, 80, 38s and the like. You know, one of the things that I also noticed was, you know, that narrow rim option really does stand out. And with that narrow rim option, let's talk about that for the sprayer piece. One of the offerings that I know you've got on the docket to talk about is the VF 650 6538. Traditional sprayer flotation option. I know that it fits the R40 45s. So let's talk through, you know, it's a narrow rim option, the options that a producer has when it comes to the varying widths for the wheel.
Well, I mean, most of the sprayers out there, the guys are going to go one of two setups. Either they're going to stay in a row crop setup with the tall, skinny tires on there that are going to be an IF or a VF rated, or they're just going to need the additional flotation in the wider tire. Amen. Now, whether or not they have the ability to purchase the right rim for the wider option, again, we get back to, you can put this tire on the narrower rim, not the row crop rim, but a narrower option rim, and still get the same flotation and benefits out of it.
You know, that is awesome, because, you know, a lot of the VFs, they don't really have that flexibility, especially for the sprayer piece for the 650, 65, 38. So to be able to go from a 20 right, all the way to a 23-inch wide wheel
Sure.
is a big deal. So that truly is fitting again with our objective here, which is talking about the latest technology that really makes it easier for those producers to get the job done. Now, one of the things that not all producers are familiar with, and even tire dealers as well, is the difference between the a 20-inch wide wheel, say for a 650 BF 650 65 38 versus say the 23. And with that being said, why don't we talk through what extra features and benefits from a tire standpoint you're going to see if you have the choice and you're buying a brand new set of flotation sprayer setup, 650 65 38 VFs, and the guy says, hey, do you want a 20-inch wheel or do you want a 23? Why don't you just go through the benefits of what that wider wheel can do for you and what it means to the tire?
Sure. I think if they've got the ability to buy the wider rim, they're going to get better performance out of that tire. They're going to get better sidewall coverage out of that tire. We're trying to carry the weight at a certain air pressure and make sure that we're not getting too much compaction when we're running across the field. If we can get that extra 3 inches off of that rim, we can widen out that footprint, get a little better, wider footprint on the ground, have a little longer footprint on the ground, which definitely helps us on the compaction side. Because right now, everybody's really starting to look more and more at compaction, at yield results. What does that look like? If you're just going to do it right from the get-go, by all means, figure out what the recommended wheel is for the tire that you're buying and definitely go that direction.
Amen. Okay. So one of the things that was touched upon in a fairly recent blog post on the different varying wheel widths was the wider wheel tends to give you a little bit more longevity because the deflection piece, right, is just a little bit easier on the tire carcass or casing. You have a
Sure.
couple comments on that as well?
Well, if you think about it, you're going to have a straighter up and down sidewalls
Amen.
by having the right size rim. And it doesn't matter if it's a tractor, if it's a truck, if it's your car, any of it, it's going to be that. So that's going to definitely help you on the casing of that tire in making sure that you're not abusing it more than it really needs to be abused.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So any closing thoughts on your Agramax V Flecto?
We carry several different sizes for the high horsepower tractors. We have it in cyclical operations. It's been a great seller out there. People that have tried it definitely have gone back to it.
Excellent, excellent. And, just very sophisticated from an aesthetic standpoint in the naming conventions as well, from just the V Flecto standpoint. Certainly a progression we continue to see from what the RT 855 and other naming conventions from the past. Not that those were excellent, but we could see the changes in the products and how they continue to get more technical.
Sure.
As we move on. All right, so let's talk about another very highly technical tire. Was super excited to see this one, the Agramax V Flexa. Now, the flotation sizes are getting more and more popular. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember if there hasn't been many VF flotations, and I think this is the very first from BKT. You want to give a little color on that?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing a lot of the manure spreaders, the silage trucks, the silage wagons, that everybody was running with a bias ply. And it worked for a while, but it seems like our loads got heavier. The speeds of moving these machines and these trailers around got faster. So we definitely had to take a look at it and say, okay, we need to help resolve some of those issues. What can we come up with? And we came up with the V Flexa. It's an all-around radial tire. It's an all-steel. It's got the VF technology. We designed it really for a lot of the honey wagons, the dryer manure spreaders, silage carts, silage trucks are out there running this thing. It's been a good tire for most of the people. Is it bulletproof? No.
When you make the
But
bulletproof
I
tire,
don't
let me
think
know, right?
anything is right.
Oh. Well, good, good. Okay, so let's talk through some of the detail on it. First of all, it's non-directional,
Correct.
and this is a brand new tread design.
It is. It's a design that a lot of people wanted something a little bit different, that we came up with this tread design to try and fill a happy medium. It's non-directional, so it has the traction going forward or backward. On a trail position, it really doesn't matter about the traction so much as far as it's getting through the field safely.
Right. In the free rolling, we want to just really encourage and promote that roll is really the main objective.
Correct.
Well, good, good. And it's steel belted, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And you elected to do the steel belt. Why? Is it because of the stubble growing? Is it just a combination
It's
of better
combination of things. You know, you've got stubble damage in there. The rubber compound is a stubble resistant compound. More than anything, the steel belt helps give us a nice flat footprint when it's loaded on the ground, so that you have good coverage, that you have good flotation of this tire.
Sounds excellent. Okay. So let's talk through the sizes and then the specifics as to what these things are going on. So really there's three sizes that we're discussing today. Of course, the flotations go from the 22.5s to 26.5s all the way to 30.5 inch. These particular ones, you've got a VF 560/60 R22.5.
Mm-hmm.
You have a VF 665 R26.5. And you have a VF 650/55 R26.5, big old tires, by all means, especially for free rolling positions when applicable. So let's talk about what that stuff's going on.
Well, most of those are going to go on. The 22.5s are really going to go on some of the smaller manure spreaders, and we're seeing them on guys that are pulling silage wagons behind them, or they're building their own silage trucks. The 26.5s, we're seeing a lot more of those coming in OE on a lot of the manure spreaders, the liquid manure spreaders, and then you even get up into the 30.5, 32, definitely getting into the big tank spreaders.
Yeah, and that would be fitting all that weight. You get those manure spreaders loaded up, and it's really a lot of weight.
Yeah, no, you do. You figure you've got a trailer out there that has 2, 3, or 4 axles with one tire on each axle, and they're running anywhere from 7,000 to 11,000 gallons of material.
Wow.
There's a lot of weight into that thing.
Well, good, good. So today, just as a wrap, we covered the Agrimax V-Flecto. We talked about the tractor applications and also the sprayer applications and the unique features associated with the sprayer tire specifically that in most cases, a producer, regardless of what wheel he has for that 650, 65, 38, should be able to fit the tire to it, being that it has that narrow rim option, really 3 options when it comes to widths that the tire can work with. And then we talked about the V-Flex flotation. Any closing thoughts on the products we covered today?
No, I think we definitely at BKT, we're looking for the next solution to help the farmer out in the field. We're always looking to figure out what do we need to do from our side of things. And if you're not sure whether or not we have the product for your machine, you can always go on to bkt-tires.com, and our website has our full line of everything out there.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing with all of our producers, tire dealers, and equipment dealers, really the latest driving yield through tire technology products out there, in some that can really make a difference for their yield and also can make a real difference with their fuel savings as well.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, James.